All right, there we go. Okay, so welcome back, guys, to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, and we are back with a Monday morning project. So, what I've decided to do, if y'all did not know, or I'm sure you did because I have a whole folder on it, the Inktober, all my drawings from Inktober, and I have cut some of them out because that was the only way I could copy them. I do have full videos on all the projects for the 31 days of Inktober, but to copy them, I have to cut them out. That's the only way I can copy them flat on the scanner. So what I did is I scanned some and I printed the, oh, I bent one. I printed them out. I printed them out on some tan and craft, we call it craft color, paper. There's two different versions here. This one is more the craft one. This one I think is just called tan paper. And you can get them in packs of 50 at Michael's in the Recollection brand. And you can get them at Hobby Lobby too. You can get black, white, you can get quite a few different colors at Hobby Lobby. Michael's just has them on sale all the time, like 3 packs. I think even one time it went for 5 packs for $10. 5 packs of cardstock, 50 in a pack for $10. It's like $2 a pack. Most of the time when they go on sale, I think it's 3 packs of any kind of color you want. They have every kind of color. They have multi-packs, like 5 shades of pink in one, you know, shades of blue in one, or just a whole pack of craft color, pack of black, white, grays. There's all different colors, and it's a nice weight cardstock, probably maybe 90 pound. Maybe it's not quite, I don't think it's quite 110. I'm not sure. Maybe it's 9, maybe it's 60 on some. This one feels a little thicker than this one. But either way, it's nice cardstock. Okay. Oh, okay, Anita. Take care. Get over that cold, girl. Feel better. Yeah, I do. I love the tan paper too. This is the tan and this is the craft. You can see a little bit different. Although my lighting, I've got to work on my lighting again. I rearranged my room. And so the lighting is, when I turn on my overhead light, it puts a glare right here. So I'm going to have to figure out something because it's really dark on my desk for me. It looks just kind of normal for you guys, but for me, it's really dark on my desk. So I'm going to have to work on the lighting, but this is the first time I've turned on my camera. This was this morning, so we'll work with it. And hopefully, by the way, tomorrow we'll have, I'm not going to say who, people here in the chat know, but we might have a mystery guest tomorrow. Hopefully, depending on the weather, but hopefully we will have a mystery guest streamer with me tomorrow. So we'll have a special stream tomorrow with a mystery guest. Well, it's not a mystery to anybody that's here, but it's a mystery if you're watching this recording. And by the way, let me say again, this is a live show on Ustream with live people and a live chat. So I'm also reading chat and watching, you know, conversing with others while I'm working here. So anyway, yeah. So what I did is I took my, and this is another idea for anything you guys want to try to practice on your tan paper or craft color, gray, you know, any of those colors. If you want to practice your color pencil and other shading work on brown, gray, or any color paper, then this is a way you can take your own art or a clip art or whatever, and then all I did was just copy it onto, I just copied it onto the craft and tan and tone paper. You can make them bigger. I just left in the same size, although this looks so much bigger than this. They're actually, that's the illusion of the different colors. This is exactly the same size. This is just scanned. It's not even altered in size. But you can always make these bigger. You know, whatever you can fit through your copy machine, 8.5 by 11, you know, but I could have made this bigger. And so anyway, that's just another idea for you to use them with. So, but before I do that, I am going to go ahead and I didn't care about placement when I did this. I just put them on the scanner and scan them. So I'm going to cut them down to the same size. So what I did is I got the same size paper here as the original. All it is it's a half sheet, you know, of 8.5 by 11 folded in half. That's the size of the original paper. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and kind of put it on here. And I'm just going to draw with a white pencil around it so I know where to cut. And if it's not quite right, I can adjust it. But this is basically what I want to do, is just cut it out like that. It could move over a little bit this way. And since it's just a white, you know, I'll just erase it, if you know. But I think I'll move it over just a tad this way. And then I'll just get my cutter out, my guillotine cutter, and just cut them all down. So I'm just going to kind of do that with, I did 5 of them. So let's just see here. I kind of want to, I'm just eyeballing. You could measure it out if you wanted to. I'm just going to go around it with a white pencil and kind of see if that's where I want it. That looks good. If you have any questions, put them in caps. And then I'm going to color them. Let's see, do I like it there? That's good. Okay, the angelfish. And I bent up a couple of them, moving, you know, working in the studio this week, and I got to get a little bit of bent in a couple of them, but it's all right. Let's see. Packer Die, Mindy, anybody else coming in? It was so cute, Packer Die. I had sent Gracie, was watching the show last week, her daughter, and well, one of her daughters, her youngest daughter, was watching one of my shows last week, Packer Die's daughter. So I said, well, I'm going to send you an art card, Gracie. She made a little recording. Thank you, Dee Dee. I love it. And, and she put it on Instagram. It was so cute, Packer Die. That was so, so cute. A downloadable coloring book of these ones. Well, I thought about it, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, right now I barely have time to, well, yeah, so we'll see. All right, so what I want to do now, I do have some projects in the work, Eileen. I do have some things in the works. All right, so I'm just going to get my little cutter out here. I got a couple of these. Hopefully we'll stay focused. And I'm just going to take a minute. If y'all don't like the sound of stuff cutting or whatever, you know, if that bothers you, then just, you know, mute for a minute. So I'm cutting them down to 5. It'll be, what will it be? 8.5 by 11.5. So it'll be 8.5 by 5.5. Yeah. 8.5 by 5.5 is what they'll end up being. Maybe a tiny bit littler, depending if I get right on the white pencil outline that I just did. So I'm just going to cut them all down. It'd probably really technically be easier to color them first, then cut them down, because then you have some places to kind of like test your colors on and things like that. So if you're going to copy something on your colored papers, you know, tan or grays or whatever, I would wait till after you colored them to cut them out. So you got your hand, you can move things around. It's just easier to work on a bigger piece of paper than a tiny one. Or smaller one rather. So, but I'm just going to get them down to video workable. Okay, I need to fix that one. Video workable size here. Whoops, I need to put it down. And the lionfish, I did go practically end to end when I was making it. So, I mean, when I drew it, it was pretty much filled the page. I know, it was so cute, Gracie, doing a little video. There we go. And you know, if you like to make bookmarks or anything, there's lots of things you can do with this kind of stuff. Kids, this is a good thing to use to make those chains with, you know, Christmas chains. And if you like into the craft color, you know, a craft and a white would make a beautiful chain. Maybe I should keep these for Eileen, the enabler elf. Not to send to Eileen. I don't mean I'm going to send them to Eileen, but I mean the actual my elf that does things at Christmas. Maybe the Christmas elf can make a chain out of these. So I'll go ahead and keep them. All right, so that's what we're going to do next. I also am working on, let me show you some other things that we might do today. Y'all know that I love my Gold Rush. I got the new magazine, the Gold Rush magazine. Okay, maybe the light can be stood to turn on the overhead. We'll work on that in a second. So anyway, I got the new, it's their first issue, Gold Rush. This is the 3 different crews, Parker, Tony, and Todd. That's the 3 crews. Anyway, and y'all seen, I do have a, in my Facebook albums, I have a whole set of drawings of all the crew from last season, but there's some new people, so if y'all missed some of the new ones, I have added Hunter, which Hunter is Todd's son, so he's new on the crew. Then I also added the host of The Dirt. Where is he? Which The Dirt is like the show where they talk to all the crews. So that's Matt. So I added Matt in the drawing. Sorry guys, I will fix the focus again shortly. And so now one of the new I think is he a mechanic or is he, I'm not sure or does he drive a dozer? Maybe, I'm probably a little of both. But anyway, so this is Juan. So I'm working on Juan right now. So this is how far I've got on him. I have to do his eyes and his skin still. Well, I have to do, you know, all the skin. But I started with doing the black beard so that I had my map of where I'm going to go. So this is how far I've got on Juan. So I might work on Juan. And we'll see how long some of these take to color. All right, so back to getting my camera. I guess it's not too bad if I stay right here. let me move my camera over to this spot over here. Okay, maybe you're right. Just get it over here in this little spot right here. That might be better. I'm working on, I try my best to have the lighting as best I can. I mean, okay. So, thanks, Miss Anita K. All right, so we might work on finishing up Juan. I will have him done by the Friday show. I tweet with them all on Friday nights. If y'all are not a Gold Rush fan, just, you know, just don't email me. Ow, I bumped my knee. But anyway, so we're gonna start with coloring these little fish. So let me just move my tray. Now I'll probably have to go get the bigger tray too. This has just got a lot of the pencils I'm using at this time, but I probably will need to get my major tray too. So what I do is when I'm working on a project, I go to my big pencil tray. This is all my pencils, and I bundle them by brand, and I bundle them also by color. So I'll have, you know, the pinks, the oranges, the yellows, the light blue, the dark blue, the reds, the grays, the cream colors, all the different, and I bundle them like that so they're easy to find. And these are just stubs right there. So what I do is I bundle them by color. So if I need a brown, you know, I know to go to this bundle like that, you know, and I can just go through them and pick out the one I want. Well, after I do that, while I'm using them, they go in this other little tray. They go in this tray. These are the current ones, and this is just one of those. I think it was made to put pictures in. I just put some pretty scrapbook paper in it some years ago. It's just those like little breakfast trays, and those to me work the best for carrying things around from room to room. If I want to go sit down with Hubster, go, whatever, I'll just take my tray of my current pencils. So this is what the current ones I'm using, other than black and white over here, which I was using on Juan. Let me get my black and white. Whoops. Ay, ay, ay. I gotta quit putting my hair up in a clip. It's my clip that keeps bumping. My hair clip that keeps bumping on the stick above my head. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. And we'll just work a little bit on these. So hopefully y'all can see them. I mean, I can try to zoom in. We can give that a shot so that you can see a little bit closer. Let's go ahead and try. We'll try. If it doesn't work, we'll zoom back out and figure it out again. All right. Let's see what we can do. Oh, let's zoom in a lot. Let's re-autofocus. Hang on, guys. Let's just get the focus back here. Wait for it. Wait for it. We'll get it. We'll get it. All right, let's see what this does. How's that? Is that very pixelated or flashed? How's that look, guys? You'll have to let me know because it's hard for me to tell. That's really zoomed in. But hopefully you can see. What do y'all think? Okay, yeah, it's zoomed in a lot. But I think you'll be able to see it. I just don't like to pixelate. It doesn't do any good to have it zoomed in and if it's not focused. See, it's still not focused. Let me autofocus again. I gotta have something for it to focus on. Hang on. One moment, please. Let's see how that looks. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. What did Julie say? Jesus, bundled all your pencils. You have, yeah. There you go. Yeah, put the kids to work bundling your pencils. There you go, Julie. All right, so I'm going to start on the fish. Now, a couple things when you're working on the tan paper, depending on what kind, like for instance, orange, red, and lime green are translucent. So they're not going to go over the tan paper as easily as other colors. I mean, white is more opaque than you think, but things like I said, lime green. Or let me do a little demo. Let me get one of those little scraps back. Okay. All right, so let's just do a little bit of demo here. Are y'all guys? You're gonna have to be honest with me. Is it look not in focus? Does it look not in focus? Look at my hands. Does it look not in focus? Because it's really, really hard for me to tell on the camera screen, on the Ustream screen. So I'm depending on you guys to tell me. If it's not in focus, we'll try again. Don't tell me it looks good and it really doesn't. I'll come after you. Okay, so anyway, I'm waiting for some answers. Okay, so anyway, let me get a couple of samples, like lime green. Let me get a lime green, a red, and an orange. Let's see, let's get an orange, lime green, and a red. I want to show y'all the difference in color when you're working on a toned tan paper. Where's my red? I know there's a red in here somewhere. Well, where's my red? I have to get another one, I guess, because I can't find red in there. All right, let's get another red. It is in focus? Okay. All right, so let's just get crimson red here. All right, so I want to just kind of show you the difference when you either base coat it or a light coat of white under these colors, okay, or acrylic. So this is the difference. Again, when I'm doing like when I'm doing Juan over there, the jacket and his helmet have some acrylic paint in. I never really put paint on their faces except maybe a highlight, you know, the white highlight in their eye or something like that. Otherwise, I really don't put acrylic on their faces, but I will use it on their clothing, their hats, their hair, that kind of thing. Beards, I'll put a, you know, some acrylic black if they have a black, real black beard like he does, you know, and then I can work on top of that. But it does make a difference when, you know, when you're using a different kind of paper, it will make a difference in what you underpaint with. So let me just go ahead and do a little, I'm going to do a little bit of a test. Let's see, do I want to put lime green or just some white? I'm thinking of which way. Let me go ahead and do it with the white pencil first. Okay, so for instance, the clownfish have a lot of orange. Okay, and y'all see me do the clownfish with acrylic paint. So you can do a couple different things. You can, if you're going to color in on your tan paper, you can use some acrylic paint, or if you just want to use pencil, you want to put a light coat of white under it, because I'm going to show you the difference here. If you just put a light coat of white on the places that you're going to paint orange, it makes a big difference, because I'm going to show you. Here is orange on the craft. Now I'm going to go right on over here to the white, and you'll see the vibrancy. See the difference in the oranges? Maybe not. I can't really come up to the camera. This is this is zoomed in. Okay, so let me push a little harder so you can see the colors. Can you see the difference? This is a little duller orange, and this is a brighter orange. The same thing, let's do it with the lime. Maybe that'll be more obvious. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit of white, and then I'm going to go over it with the lime. Okay, so here's the lime green on the craft, and then the lime green over the white. It's just more vibrant. It's more true to color. It's more true to color. And I know it looks a little whiter than it actually is in person, but it's just a more vibrant green. Okay, let's do it with red. I mean, and you don't want to make pink when you're using red, so you have to be kind of careful. Just even a light coat covering the craft paper will make your reds pop more. And hopefully that shows up on camera. It looks a little orange on camera, but it's just a little brighter. Hey, Miss Meredith. So when you're doing the ones here, like we're going to do here on, let me get my, well, here's my phone. I'm going to make sure I color them correctly. All right, what's wrong with my phone? Oh, I turned it, I restarted it. Hang on. Let me go get my iPad. Hang on, guys. Ugh. All right, let's squeeze back in here. Ugh. All right, let me find some picture of a clownfish so I don't color the stripes wrong, because they have a certain pattern that they have. Here we go. All right. How you doing, Mary D? You can see the difference? Yeah, it's a big difference. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, we're going to do the combination of acrylic paint. Oh my gosh, hang on guys. Let me take this clip out of my hair. Sorry, every time I go under the stick here, I'm catching the stick with the clip in my hair. Oh my gosh. All right, so took the clip out. Now I won't be bumping my head on it. All right. So what I want to do is I'm going to get out a little bit of white. So we're going to do a combination of acrylic paint and color pencil. All right, so we're going to start with the clownfish. Let me move all the ones underneath so I don't get paint on the underneath ones. And I don't know how many we'll get done today, but we'll work on a couple. There we go. So I'm going to get some white paint and some orange paint. Got my orange up here. I think we'll go with this orange. Which orange do I want? Pumpkin, I think. Okay. And a little bit of black. So what we're going to do is do a combination of paint and it's a great tip if you're using darker tone paper, you can use dry yeah, I know you can do. I don't do pastels. Like, that's just me. I don't enjoy the feeling of chalkiness. So I don't do, but yeah, somebody said you could. The problem with using pastel, you have to fixative that somehow when you're done. Okay. And there's a couple things with that. One, and again, this is just what I found for myself. I'm not saying there's no solutions to any of these things in different variations of the process. You know, whether you pastel, then fixative, then you go back with color pencil or whatever. Two things. One, I just don't like the feel of pastel and chalk. I've used it. I've done a lot of life drawings and things like that, where you draw people from life, huge paper, and, with chalk and pastels and things like that. If you're going to do, let's just say I was going to do chalk and pastel on here first, I'd have to fixative it before I could go on with pencil. Your pastel is going to move. So you have to fix pastel. You do not have to fix color pencil. Okay, it doesn't. Hey, Debbie. It doesn't. It won't move. Okay, so there is that thing about pastels. You've got to fixative it somehow. It's at some point in the process. I just don't like to spray anything. When I'm doing my color pencil, I don't use any liquids, no mediums, no mineral spirits, no. So I've seen people are using Vaseline and all kinds of stuff to blend. I don't even use a blender pencil. Okay, I have some like these right here, the Prismacolor colorless blenders. I don't even use these. I mean, I have a couple, and I'm not saying I've never ever used them, but generally speaking, okay, I got some paint on my hand. Let me get a baby wipe. I don't. I use, just the color pencil over dry washes of acrylic paint, or just dry flat acrylic paint. Okay, which is what we're going to do here. All right, so I'm going to just start. Let me get where's my brushes? I've moved everything around, and I'm kind of discombobulated because I've switched my room around, and I got to rethink where everything is at. All right, so let me just get a small flat brush. This one will probably work. I'll move my water a little closer. Oh. Because I had to make room for well, I won't say. It's going to be our surprise guest. I had to make room for our surprise guest tomorrow. All right. I think I got everything close enough now. All right. So now, if you have any questions, put them in caps. Yeah. I mean, they're using all kinds of things to blend color pencil. I don't know. I think what they're doing, I think they're dipping the tips. I think they're dipping the tips in Vaseline, and then it blends smooth. I haven't tried it. To me, that's just waiting for a bloom of liquids to happen around your project. I don't know. I'm not saying it does. I just don't like adding any liquids to my work. Well, acrylic paint, but I mean anything that's going to spread. I'm just not, that's just not my technique. Not saying that you can't try it. Don't email me. Okay, so I'm going to start with some white. And I got some black, white, and orange right here. Okay. And so I'm just gonna, this brush is gonna be too big. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of some of the white. I'll just be careful for a minute. And I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna, if I do go over, let me, where's my water? Oh. I want it to stay kind of translucent on my line. So let me just kind of get a little bit of water and kind of almost like a little bit of a lighter wash. But I'm not, I'm very little on my brush, very little on my brush. I'm not picking up a whole bunch of water and slopping it on here, even though it's cardstock and it can handle it. It's just very, very little paint, very little paint. So those areas, kind of like when I do a color book page and I do a wash in the color book page where I'm going over the shadows that are already on the color book page, you don't want to lose that. See right there? That's just lightly gone over. The point of this is to give you a base to work your color pencil on. I don't know. I don't use it. I don't use it, Orla. I just don't. So you'll have to go research that. So, okay. I just don't like putting things that are gonna, I don't mind this little bit, a tiny bit of water in my paint. But when I go to mineral spirits and all that kind of stuff can make your, make a, what do you call it, like a ring. You know how things, like oil. If you put oil on a piece of paper, you've seen what that does. It makes makes an oil ring. Now I know that it doesn't, there's people that are very expert at using mineral spirits with their color pencils, and they probably have ways around it, not doing it. For me, my technique here, mine, this is, don't email me if you think, oh, well, this works for so-and-so. I'm not saying it doesn't. I just personally do not like to use those mineral spirits and all that in my color pencil work. I mean, I'll use it in oil paintings, but all right. So the point of doing this is to have the color, something for the color pencil to be brighter on. So if y'all have any questions, just put them in. I missed something you said, Carrie. I'm sorry. It rolled off the screen. Someone said, I agree, Carrie, but I missed what that was. Sorry, Carrie, if you want to repeat it. All right. So don't make me get my teacher voice on. Yeah, I don't like greasy and oily either, will you? And again, I know there's people that can do those techniques, no problem. For me, it's way too much. It's just too much trouble. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do that. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you girls. All right, so I'm just finding, some of the areas. I'm just making sure on my fish that I get the right stripes. So you'll see me color them in color pencil and paint large before in the art scroll, in the animal art scroll. But, these are the ones I did for Inktober, like this was day 5. So I wanted to do some in color. You like the look of the black sketch on the tan with just a touch of white. Yeah, that is a cool look. And it's pretty much going to be that, except we're going to have a little bit of orange. Yeah, I do like that look too, Carrie. And I've done some drawings like that and left them with just the white and the tan. And black, white, and tan. Okay, so let me make sure. Do I have any other areas that need white? I'm looking at all their little fins. Okay, now in orange, the same that kind of applies to here. Remember when I showed you that little card with the white under it? Now I'm going to just go ahead and base coat the areas that are orange with just orange. But if you want to keep the vibrancy, you could put the white under it and then the orange, a second coat on top. But because we're going to go over it with color pencil, the vibrancy of the orange isn't as important as if it was just going to be this. In other words, like, let me just go ahead in here with a little bit of the orange here. That orange is not going to be as bright. All right, let me clean my brush. I'll show you the difference. Let me go over here with the white, and I'm just going to put a little bit of white underpainting before I put the orange on top. I want you to see the difference. I'm going to have to let that dry just a second, otherwise it'll just blend into a light orange. I want that to dry. Okay, I want you to see the difference with going just straight orange and orange on top of white acrylic, just like the pencil. Although it's not as important so much in this case as just having an orange under, because I'm going to go over it with color pencil. But it does make a difference on tan paper. It does have a little bit of, I don't want to say trickiness to it, but you do have to kind of work with the darker papers differently than if you're just working on white paper. Where's my coffee? I have to go get some hot coffee in a minute. All right. What is this? Okay, I think it's, I could hit it with the heat gun, but I put hardly no water in there. It's just, so I think it's dry enough for me to now go over it with the orange paint, because I want you to see the difference between going over white paint with orange and just the orange over the craft. Okay, I don't know how much it's going to show up. Can you see how much brighter that orange is than that orange? This is just on the craft paper, and this is over the white. Again, it's not going to matter so much in this case because I'm going to go over it with color pencil. I would pay for those ink drawings to color. Aw, well, we'll see. I don't know. I'll have to check on that. I'll look at it, Jeannie. Thank you. That's sweet. All right, so now let me just go in here. Again, I'm kind of keeping it just a light bit of orange because I'm not really trying to paint it, so to speak. I'm just trying to put a coat of the orange on it to go over it with color pencil. I mean, you know, it just depends. You can practice with different things. Print out one of your drawings on tan or craft, either one, and just see what you can do with different things. Try it with your ink tints, your paints, your color pencils, all of it. You know, you won't learn what things will do if you don't try that yourself. You can watch me do it, but until you get your hands in there and test it out yourself, you really won't get literally the feel for it. It's just different when you're doing it than it is when you're watching it. And that's true on any of these artistic endeavors. You know, it's one thing just to watch it, and it's another thing to touch it. All right, let me see this fish here. I'm just making sure I get my stripes right and all because I'm not an ichthyologist. Ichthyologist. I don't think there's a "t" in there. I think it's just ichthyologist. I don't think it's ichthyologist. I think it's just ichthyologist. Yeah. So, yeah. I want to make sure, I have to look at a picture to make sure I get the coloring right here. All right, so there we go. Again, I know I say this all the time, and I am going to take a heat gun to this. You want to make sure that whether you're using neocolors, watercolor, watered down acrylics, anything that you're using under your color pencil, make sure, oh, I missed something, is white over the color. Yeah, well, that'll be vibrant. Yeah, it'll be much more vibrant with white on top of acrylic. Remember my little chart I showed y'all a couple weeks ago? The little chart where I put the white and black pencil on the top of neocolor, ink tints, acrylic, watercolor, you know, all the different mediums. Remember? That showed what black and white, the difference of of a color pencil on top of all those different mediums. Hey, Sarah O. And Sarah O, I did see you tweeted it. It was in the middle of the night, so I didn't. I just saw it this morning, and I've been getting ready to stream, so I didn't get to answer you this morning. But I did see you were asking about you're going to start streaming, and you're asking for names. So while you're here, Sarah O, tell the girls what your plans are for a stream, and they'll help you think of a name. We will all help you think of a name. Unless you've already thought of one since my 3 a.m. Hey, Galena. Anybody else popping in? So Sarah O is, yeah, she's going to start streaming, and she's trying to think of a name for her show. Okay, so hopefully this is good for you guys to see. I don't know if I need to. Hopefully, you know, it's a little off, but let me test the lighting here. Let's go to the lighting. Let's drop the lighting just a tad there. Okay. Makes me look real tan, but it makes this look right. Yeah. All right, so let me go ahead and take a heat gun to this real quick because, again, it is wet. I'm still here. All right, there we go. Let's get it to focus back. There we go. I thought you might be sleeping. I hope to. No, I don't have it beeping next to me at night. Unless I just completely forget to move the iPad. Because my phone, I don't keep Twitter. I don't keep anything but message and what else do I have on there that beeps? Message and text from my daughter. That would beep at night. But I don't have any other beeps on my phone. Any notification sounds like Twitter, Facebook, none of that. I have it all turned off on my phone because my phone is what I have with me all the time. I don't have the iPad with me all the time, but my iPad's the one that beeps. So I just don't, as long as I don't have the iPad next to me when I'm sleeping, then I don't hear it go off. What is my Twitter handle? It's InkyWell, INKIWELL. It's on Instagram and Twitter. It's InkyWell with an I. Because Inkwell was already taken years ago. Okay, and Dee Dee Willingham on Facebook. And again, if y'all want to see any of my artwork on Facebook, you don't have to follow me or me follow you. I made my artwork public, so anybody can see it. That's still a little damp. Hang on, guys. This is still a little damp. Okay. Ouch. Sorry, guys. My room is rearranged. I saw you now, Cable Claire, just followed me because I got my iPad right here because I'm looking at fish. Since I rearranged my room, I am just not like, I'm still discombobulated, bumping into things. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, all right. So back to our little fish here. So now what I want to do is get a couple shades. Now I got a light orange and I want a darker orange. I want this one, maybe, yeah, those two oranges. And I also want a sienna for shading. Now let's sharpen these right quick. I'm blocking the thing there, but yeah, I saw you fall. I'll follow you back here in a minute or when I'm done here. Okay, so then I also... in shadows of white, you can either use a gray, but I also like to use a light gray blue. Where's my favorite one? Is it this one? Well, either one of these. Let me show you the two. I either like to use I can't read it, a light gray, bluey gray, or like a sky blue, blue slate colors. Either one of these or both, or depending on what you're shading, will give a more realistic shadow than, say, black or dark gray. So in other words, where I got a shadow Now, remember, because this has got the acrylic paint on it, this is gripping like there's no tomorrow. I'm barely having to touch the painted areas with the color because it's got the acrylic paint on it. So now I'm just going to go in here in the shadow areas with the blue. And now let me get my white and blend. I'm going right over the top. I'm as close as I can get, guys, so hopefully you can see. So I'm just going to blend in maybe a little bit of shadow right in here. Under that fin right there. Hopefully y'all can see. Can y'all see okay? Give me a hint. Give me a hint. So we're going to see. Okay, bye, Miss Mary D. Did you get the card I sent you? I sent you a thinking of you card of maybe a couple weeks ago. And you didn't move or anything, did you? And not tell us? She might have already left. And also, because I've copied this, and this is just ink right here, you got to be careful of any water you add to your ink. Remember, this is a copy. This is a copy onto my tan paper. So when you copy, you're going to have to be aware of what kind of ink is in your printer. If your ink in your printer, if you get it wet, it smears a lot, then you want to be very leery of putting water in your acrylic paint. You'd be better off just to use thin down acrylic. When I say thin down, I don't mean watered down. I mean like, let me get it here. Instead of using like a thick, like this is what I mean by thick, just straight out of the bottle, like that's thick. Okay, when I say if you want to use thin, you want to just barely, kind of just barely like that. In other words, you're not getting a whole bunch. It's just a little bit, because if you add too much water to your paint and you get on this black printer ink, it's going to smear. Okay. Hey, Miss Allie. You've succumbed to the Derwent Color Soft. Now, I do like that. That would probably, I actually think I like the Derwent Color Soft better than some of the other brands other than Prismacolor, because I love Prismacolor except for the breakage problem. Someone on YouTube suggested I go to Facebook and see if I can make a comment on the breakage, but I'm sure I'm not the only one that, well, I know I'm not, because people talk about it all the time. So anyway, my point is on this is black printer ink printed on your cardstock. This will smear with water. I don't have any that I can play with. I don't want to mess these up. But if I just take water on my brush, I can move that black ink, and I don't want to do that, okay? Oh, you're welcome. We got another one coming, Miss Allie. I think I sent you two. I think I had you, I sent you two. So you'll have another one coming. So you do got to be aware of that. If you're printing something out, making a copy. If you're making a copy now, laser jet, if you, I don't even have that. I don't take the time to go. I just use my plain old Epson artesian printer, which the ink does not smear as badly as my HP did. My old HP, which I love my HP for photographs. It had the best photograph. But then they changed the paper. We're just going to go on a little thing here. HP changed their photo paper a few years ago to some thinner, wrinklier, not as good paper. I think it was called satin or something like that. And it was like a cross between a gloss and a matte. It was like in between. It was perfect. I don't think it was called satin, but it was kind of like that. It was in between a gloss and a matte. And then they did away with it. I bought the last of it and used and used and used. I mean, and then, I just did not like their new paper. And then so finally when my HP printer went out, I went with the Epson. So anyway, it will be, remember yeah, it's coming with also your birthday card at the same time. It's coming. I found you. It's coming. I mean, not your birthday card. Yeah, you won the giveaway last week. I found you. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. And I did mention earlier, and I'll just kind of say it real quick because while it came up, I am not going to be able to do art cards for every new person anymore. I can maybe like do some on birthdays. If you're here and you're part of the Ustream show and you're on the birthday list, maybe I can do a but usually the birthday cards are handmade by somebody in our group too. But like I'm spending 2 days a week making art cards to give away. It's not the sending of them. I don't mind throwing them in a post, paying the girls send me postage all the time and stuff. It's not so much the postage to send an art card, it's the time it's taking me to make batches of them. Had to send out 16 this week. That took 2 days this week for me to make them. I just can't, I can't do it. I can't spend 2 days a week making art cards anymore. I just can't. I'm spending way too much time doing free art cards. I love giving new cards to new people that come in, but I just can't spend 2 days a week making them because not only do I try to make them on stream sometimes just to make it part of a show and to do the cards themselves, but you only see a part of it. You see me just do, you see, probably about a fourth of the time it takes to make the art cards, because then after I make the art cards, I've got to fix them up. I've got to finish the painting. I've got to varnish them. I've got to let that dry. Then I've got to turn them over. I've got to paint them black. I got to let that dry. I mean, it's taking 2 days out of my week to make art cards, and I just can't do it. So, yeah. I will try to send them out occasionally, but I can't promise. If you're a new person here and you email me and say, I'm new, here's my address, can you send me an art card? I just can't do it anymore. So, yeah, I do. And yeah, a couple of years ago, my family really, I've been doing Ustream for 5 years and then only uploading to YouTube for about a year now. And I think it's right at a year that I've been uploading to YouTube. And my family, up until, probably maybe 2 years ago when I really got back into doing my portraits, and then about maybe a year and a half ago, I really started getting back into my portrait commissions because, my family said, why are you doing all this for free? And and I do have other artist friends that say, why are you doing all this for free? Well, I don't mind doing any of it, because I love helping others and encouraging others to do art and creativity and whatever mediums is their thing. And but it is, my family just said, look, if you're going to be doing free Ustream shows and free tutorial, you call them tutorials, demos, whatever you want to call them, you're going to have to be working on your commissions to, supplement what you do financially. And and it's true. It is true. I've always tried to work in creative fields when I worked outside the home before I retired, which never really retired. But anyway, so I do my commissions, but it does take a lot of time. If you're not a streamer, you probably don't realize how much time it takes to set up, do the shows, clean up, do projects, do Happy Mail. And believe me, I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to explain. I'm just trying to explain that, I don't do classes. I don't charge classes for class. I don't do workshops. I don't do, I don't sell anything here. And so my commission work, so make sure if y'all need any portraits, pet or people, you know where to go. That's where I make my money. I don't make any money off of any of this other stuff. And so anyway, I just wanted to kind of explain that to y'all because I do all this for free. And so that's where I make my money, is on commissions, is what I'm saying. Now, if you want me to do any of these kind of things for you, and I don't mind, doing some little paintings or, stuff like that. And so I wouldn't be much money as far as something like these kind of things go. But, my commissions are more expensive, and that's where I make my money. So, but my point is, it takes time. I can't just constantly be doing free shows and free art all the time without, I mean, there's a lot of girls that do Ustream, and again, don't email me. Everybody has their own models of what they want to do, where they're going, the kind of art they do. I should be doing this in a face-to-face. I should be doing this in a face-to-face. Some people sell their classes. Some people do Ustream because they're promoting products that they're being paid to promote products. For instance, Prima. Prima, they have their whole product line, and they have shows where they promote their product line. And so, they have people that promote their product line, people that get paid to do that thing. Some people have products they sell. Some have classes they do. Some have they're doing Ustreams and tutorials and videos because they do workshops. They travel. There's girls that travel, or for instance, Tim Holtz. Okay, Tim Holtz has products and travels. Well, so he can do all the free videos he wants. You see what I'm saying? That he has time for. But some of us just do this because we love to share. And I know you guys appreciate it here. I'm just explaining it. And again, I'm not complaining. I love doing and sharing. But, from our end, the other end of the thing is I have to have time. I have to have time to do the things that I get paid for as well. So, well, thanks, guys. And I do hope that I've encouraged people to try things, whether it's all the different mediums that I do try to share, whether it's color pencil, acrylic, all the different things we do. We do tons of different things. And I love sharing with you guys. And, but it's free for, neither one of us get, So, anyway, I'm not trying to say all this to get kudos. Oh, thank you for doing, I'm not saying it for that. I'm just trying to explain to you guys, sometimes it does take a lot of time to do videos. And I'm not even one that does YouTube videos where you have to edit, upload, and all that. Mine goes straight from Ustream to, I upload them right to YouTube without any editing. Even that portion is cut out, so I don't have to do that. But a lot of, most people that do just YouTubes in themselves, have to have hours of upload time, hours of editing, and all that, So, yeah. But thanks, guys. I do appreciate y'all appreciating it. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, just to say that it's time consuming. That's all. That's true, Carrie. Nothing's free. Comes out somewhere. So true. Okay, so again, make sure that if you do go on here with any kind of watered down acrylic paint, your neo colors, or whatever kind of underpainting you're doing on a printout. Remember, this is just printed out. If you print out your own on your your inkjet printer, make sure that if you touch the black there, it's going to move. A solution to that could be to take, if you're going to end up going and making the black darker anyway, a solution to, not 100%, because unless you get every little bit of inkjet ink covered, it can still run. But like these big areas here, before you did the orange and the white, you could go in here with your black pencil and kind of like go over the ink so that it's less likely to smear, because now you've covered the inkjet ink. You've covered the bulk of it. But unless you go in there and cover every single little line of your inkjet printout, it'll move. It'll move if you get it like really wet. Thanks, Mac. You're welcome. Hey, Morgan. Good, Miss Sally. I hope I've encouraged you to try some new things. That is like my heart is, to really have people not be afraid. Get rid of the fear. That's like, if I could pass on one thing to anybody trying anything creative, it's to not be afraid. You know, don't, it's just paint, it's just paper, it's just, you know, and you know, I say it all the time, you know, if I can do this here live and smack my head, knock over camera, spill things, mess things up, and things not turn out, if I can do that live with all you people watching and just upload it and oh well, then you can do it in the privacy of your own home. Oh, you know what I mean, Vern? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. Let me just keep sharpening my pencil here because some of these are tight little areas. And so basically I'm covering up the larger areas that have been printed out so I don't like smear them, although I think I'm pretty much done with all the water and wet paint. But just go in there first and do some color pencil in the larger areas that you don't want to smear. So like if you're doing a color book, you don't have to worry about this because the color book page print, the ink is not going to move. But if you're printing this out on an inkjet printer, then it's going to move if you get it too wet. I was pretty careful. I didn't like slosh a lot of paint or water on any of the areas, but you got to be careful. So I'm just going to kind of go back over, and you can do this just to kind of prevent it from moving. Okay. Again, I'm not going to go back in here with any paint, but then you can also see the vibrancy of once you've gone back over it with the black. Oh, good, Sarah. That was sweet, Sarah. Sarah said that the encouragement helped her to finish Inktober. Yeah, and if y'all don't follow Sarah O on Sarah, if you'll put your, again, I follow people that I don't remember their names, their nicknames and stuff. Once I follow them, I just know them and don't really pay attention to the numbers behind their names. But Sarah did post all her Inktobers on Instagram, and they're so cute. They're her little alien people and other things too, but those were my favorites. And she sent me a tag with one of those on. It's so cute, if y'all remember. So y'all follow Sarah. But anyway, you can see the vibrancy of the black comes out. Now, one of the problems, let me just say this too, one of the problems with doing the black at this stage or like pre-painting, one of the problems with that is you've now got to be very careful when you go in there to shade with other colors that you don't pick up the black. It's not so much the problem with these little fish or something, but if you were doing a face or something, you would not want to, you know, that's why I always tell you that if you got to be kind of good at the pencil if you're going to put black on there before you put the light colors, because it's very easy when you go in there with the white to accidentally pick up the black. Touch the black and drag it in, you know, same thing like with the orange, touch the black and I'll be dragging that in. So you have to be really careful when you put your dark colors down like this first before you get all the shading done in other areas, because it's very easy to pick up those colors. So, yeah, there she is. Thanks, Sarah. You like the face? Yeah, I do too. All right, so now I'm going to go in there and maybe just do a little bit of highlight and some pop their eyes. That didn't sound right. I'm going to pop their eyes out. JJ'd have a fit if she heard me say that about a little clowny fish. Yeah. So, all right, so now I'm going to go in there and some of the shadowed areas where it's orange. I got to remember I'm zoomed in. I got to keep my little paper under the camera. So I'm going to go in there where it's orange, and for the shadow of the orange, I'm going to use a sienna color. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of get in there with some of the sienna to shade that. Whoop, breakage. A big surprise, right? Some of the girls have given me, emailed me and mentioned to me a couple of their electric pencil sharpeners that they use. They swear does not eat the pencil down to a nub. You know, I showed this last week. Where is it? Like I said, listen, I don't want a pencil sharpener that's going to do this. Bzzz. Okay, we got our sharpened pencil. I don't want a pencil sharpener, an electric pencil sharpener that's going to do that, right? Okay, so back to a little bit of sienna, because it's like a dark, you know, like it would be like a dark orange, so to speak. So I'm just going to get in there in the shadows. So hopefully you can kind of see what I'm going to do. It's just like a color book now at this point. Just like your color book. Yeah, the boss stitch. Thank you, Suzanne Hale. Yeah, the boss stitch, she says. And there's a couple other, and some other ones have said this one works great and it doesn't need the pencil. I haven't had time to go shopping for nothing, guys. But yeah, so and I think she said it was only like 13 bucks or something like that. It wasn't very expensive. So I don't know. Might give it a try. I don't want to spend a horrible amount of money on a pencil sharpener and then end up not, you know, it does eat your pencils. I mean, you know, we're sharpening them enough as it is, these Prismacolors. So, oh, and the tails here are white too. Let me put the little edge around the tail. They have a little white rim around their tails like that. And again, always clean your pencil, clean the light color pencil tips off so that you're not, if you got black on it, like, all right, let me just do that right there. I don't know if you'll be able to see. See the black on there? If you don't clean it off, then when you go touch it to the next area that you want white, you're going to have a black mark there. And not so important on a little fish like this, but if you're doing a portrait, I literally have 20 different pencil sharpeners. I have the little, and metal, I found metal ones work the best. This one, and where's my little barrel one? I have a little gold, I'm going to forget who makes it. Let me see. Hang on, guys. All right, just a minute. So let's see here. We'll talk pencil sharpeners for just a minute. Let's see. Yeah, my favorites though are, so far I found, work the best for Prismacolor are this little silver metal one and the little gold barrel one. These two work the best. But I think what happens is they get waxy buildup. You know, waxy buildup. I could probably sharpen it with something else to maybe get the waxy buildup out of and I know you can replace these blades and everything, but hang on. Let's see here. What do I do with it? When I've moved everything around again, guys, so it's kind of, again, let's see. Oh, it's in this drawer, I think. Hang on. This is just a few. I know there's more around here. Okay, so here we go. Here's some of my pencil sharpeners. Got the Prismacolor one. We got these kind. We got this one. We got all these kinds. We got this one. We got all kinds of metal ones. And the little things, and this kind, this kind, this kind, this kind. You know, so believe me, it's not that I haven't tried every kind of pencil sharpener there is, except electric, which the ones I've seen people use grind their pencils down to nothing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, hey Blondie. Oh, Blondie's here. Now that reminds me, I'm going to take a little rabbit trail right here. Blondie emailed me. Let me turn off my iPad for a minute. She emailed me, and I kept it to read to you guys. Let me read some of it to you. So Blondie, blonde woman, if y'all were here last week, it was Monday, I think, for the Happy Mail Blondie sent. So I did record that, but she answered some of the questions. She's thanked us for making the video. It was fun to watch, and she thought it was fun for us to ooh and ah over the stuff. But she did answer the little bag of flags, you know, the little bookmark things. She said they were in a pocket letter page, and they're faux washi tape, and she made them from jelly printing. Is that the ones? No, wait. Whoa. The faux, okay, wait. Let me get them. I've got the wrong thing here. Hang on. Let's see. Hang on. I got the ones here. I gave one away already, and then, so this is it. Okay, so let me back up. I'm not looking at chat right now. Hang on, guys. Let me open one of these up. Oh, wait. Do I have some opened? Here we go. Here's some. I already have some open, so I don't need to open this one. Okay, so here we go. All right, so the little strip, the flags. Okay, I called them flags. That's why she's calling them flags. Okay, so hang on. Let me get back to seeing chat so I can see if I'm under camera. Okay, so here we go. These things. These little flags. All right, she said the little bag of flags that were in the pocket letter page, and these here. They're faux washi tape. She made them from the jelly printed and rubber stamped with acrylic paint on deli paper. To use them, you have to adhere the strips with matte medium. So that's what these are. Because we were questioning some of this. The slides, she stamped the images on acetate with Memories permanent ink. They are hand printed on the back like an old-fashioned animation cell with acrylic layered on top of a background, mostly jelly printed deli paper. Let me get them out so that you can see here. Let me get one out here. And again, I'm trying to read, so there we go. So these are what she's talking about. The little slides that she's painted on the backs. Okay, like an old-fashioned animated with acrylic layered on top of a background, mostly jelly printed deli paper. One on another painted stamp acetate piece, and one on cardstock, and then adhered inside of an open slide mount. So see, she's talking about the two different layers there. So like one's a back paper that kind of covers up the back of the acrylic painting, and at the same time gives it another layer back there. Can y'all kind of follow what I'm talking about? There's like a thing of paper behind the acrylic painting that's been stamped first. I hope that makes sense. Then she said, FYI, the rubber stamp coffee theme images on the paper is sticky adhesive. Oh, okay, so they're like sticker paper. Okay, so I got some sticker paper ones. And then the Asian cardstock is DCWV. Okay, that's in the pocket letter that she made. And I was wondering about the Asian paper in her pocket letter. That is the Far East stack. Then the stencil material is Graphics brand Duralar, where she made the stencils. Okay, I moved those over here. Hang on. So the stencils that she made, let me get one here, see if I can get it to show up. Okay, there we go. This, it's thin. See, it's kind of thin. It's thinner. I guess she cut it. Let's see. So it's from Duralar, Duralar 0.005 matte film. The package says it's high-performance polyester film. A 9x12 pad of 25 sheets is $15 to $18. Blick, Amazon, Jerry's Artorama. Any of those. So it's like 25 sheets for about $15 for a 9 by 12 pad. Durlar cuts great on the silhouette and doesn't eat the blades up like acetate does. Durlar settings on Cameo, blade 6 or 7, speed 4, thickness 24. So that's the settings on the Cameo. If y'all don't have a silhouette Cameo, then that doesn't mean anything to you. But it's blade 6 or 7, speed 4, thickness 24, double cut option checked on. She said, I'm sure there's more, but she can't remember now. And she said to feel free to do whatever I wanted with the Russian arts book. She found it on sale for $3. We love those kind of sales. And she loved the studio chat, the face-to-face chat. Thanks, Blondie. And let's see, she's thanking for sharing and she loves all the fibs, all the friends in the box. And yeah, so thanks, Blondie. Thanks, Blondie. So there's kind of the explanation of some of the things. If y'all have any more questions, this video is dark. Well, it is. I'm flashing in and out between different projects. That's why I'm trying to focus on this. But if I go on to something else, it makes it dark. Okay, so there we go. I hope that answered some of the questions. It answered some of the questions for me because I was curious on some of that stuff, like how she did the slide mounts, for instance. Okay, so here we go back to the fish. Yeah, I'm trying to, when I'm zoomed in like this, I got to kind of keep it, there we go. Hopefully that's good. All right. So any questions on any of that? No, Blondie, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I already sent out a I found Dee Dee. That's not a real name. She's just funny. Anyway, she won a drawing of some of the stuff, and I sent her out some of the napkins and some of that. So thanks for sharing. And I love those kind of things that when I do send out Happy Mail, that those kind of things go in the Happy Mail. So thanks, everybody. So y'all help Sarah O. They're trying to help her think of a name for her Ustream show. Dare to Art, I saw go by. She wants to do some bookbinding projects. Yeah. So Sarah's trying to think of some cool names for her Ustream show. All right, so let's finish coloring these little fish. We're not making a lot of progress on this, are we? I'm gonna have to go get some hot coffee. Let me finish with yeah. But anyway, on the pencil sharpener thing, I found that the metal ones work the best, but I think they eventually get a coating in there on the blade. There's probably something, and I know somebody will tell me the tips to sharpen with something graphite maybe to kind of get the I don't know who that is. Hang on. I'm going to answer this call, guys, and go run down and get some coffee. Hello? I am. Hang on. I didn't recognize your phone call. It just said Griffin. It didn't say you. Okay, anyway, I'm screaming, but I'm coming down to get coffee. Okay? All right. You going to mail my thing for me today, too? Okay, hot coffee, and that was Hubster on another phone, so I'm glad I answered it. Okay. All right, back with ya. Okay, questions. If you wanted to go back over with ink, no, it won't work over the pencil, Lynn. This is so waxy. If you have a full coat of color pencil, now, let me catch my breath. If you got a solid, like let's say I went over this with black, I could probably get maybe a Sharpie might do a little, but you're going to ruin your Sharpie. You really can't go over the color pencil with a wax buildup with ink. You can go over it with acrylic paint. Okay, acrylic paint will go over color pencil, but your like a pen, like a micron or something like that, you're just going to be like digging into the wax. But like I say, with everything, guys, if you're not sure what it's going to do, you know, hello, just do a little test. Do a little test. That's how I learned. You know, I just tested to see what worked and what didn't. So, hey, Shabs. Yeah. But yeah, and a Sharpie is probably one of the worst for picking up things like whatever. You know, Sharpies just, I don't know what the process would be called. But when you go over things with a Sharpie, it like seals, it just blocks the ink from flowing. So if I picked up a lot of color pencil on my Sharpie, same thing, it doesn't really work on like acrylic paint. Dry acrylic paint, a Sharpie will go bad, if you want to call it for lack of a better word, quick. I don't know why, because I don't know the ink formulations in a Sharpie other than it's alcohol based, you know, stuff like that. Okay, so now again, back to like some of the shadows in the white area. I want to be blue. It just looks more realistic. A blue or a gray rather than say like a harsh black. Just because you have a shadow doesn't mean your shadows have to be black. Okay, just because there's a shadow there, whether it's on something you printed out, a color book page, or your own drawings, doesn't have to, it's much more realistic to have your shadows in a color. And if you look at real shadows are not like very rarely just black. I mean, maybe a nighttime, really dark time or something like that, but just cast shadows and things like that, they're colors. Purples, grays, blues. Okay, oh, let me look at the fish again. I'm not sure if they have white around their fins. No, they have white right here. It's kind of like in here. I have to look at a picture of one because I don't remember where their color, you know, where their stripes are. Okay, so again, let me go back to the brown or the sienna so you can kind of see. I'm going to do some shadows in there. Did y'all figure out a name for Sarah? Sarah, did you find a name yet? Bye, Lisa. Lisa, we need to chat more. I mean, not here, but sometime. I missed you, Lisa. Did y'all figure out a name for Sarah? I miss Jeannie leaving too. Bye, Jeannie. Thanks, guys, for popping in when you can. I never expect anyone to stay for much, 3 hours or longer. But that's why I try to record that so you can watch the recordings in segments. That's what I try to do. Like if I watch a Paula show, if I don't have 3, or usually her shows are 2 hours at a time. If I don't have 2 hours all at once, I'll watch an hour, 30 minutes another time, and just I break it up. I break up the shows when they're long. And then sometimes, if you're watching like Blade, you can fast forward through those you know, big segments of drying. He says heat gun, but you know, it's like a dryer. It takes them a long time to dry something. You can fast forward through the drying. You can fast forward to the parts where I go get coffee. Uh, okay, good, Sarah. Good, good. So that's one of the nice things about, you know, watching a recording. Of course, I love the, you know, interaction with people here live. So, but if you're watching a recording, that's one of the nice things is you can fast forward it past, you know, downtime things. And hopefully we'll have, y'all know who it is because y'all were here when we talked about it, but I'm not putting it on the recording. Tomorrow we're going to have a mystery guest. We'll do a show tomorrow with a mystery guest. All right, so I'm just kind of going, so you kind of see there. I keep wanting to pull it up to the camera, but obviously don't need to. I'm zoomed in 5 clicks. Oh, that's cute, Blondie. Now, here's the thing, though, about, let me just give you this kind of a tip, though. When you're naming a channel, you want to have it general enough so that if you do other projects, it doesn't, like, limit you. Like, you know, if you have something that talks about bookbinding in the title, then people are going to, if they search you, they're going to see that just bookbinding. That's why I like Coffee and Art in the Morning. It can be anything, you know. If you have something, you could just do like Paula does, Journal Artista, you know, something like that's general, where it's not going to limit you to a specific media, you know, like, okay, so now let me go in here with a little bit of white highlight here. A couple of little, I'm just going over the orange paint where I just might want a little bit of, where the big part of the fish is, it would be like closest sticking out. You know, the light would hit light if you have a rounded object like this. See where the light is on my knuckles right there? Because that's the part that's the farthest to the light. Now I want to. Okay, so anyway, because it's rounded, like, where's my ubi? I need my ubi. Anyway, so that's kind of where the fat part of the fish is here. Sorry, guys. I'm so easily amused. I amuse myself. I'm so easily amused. All right. See how that gives it dimension right there? And I'm barely pushing on it too, guys. I'm barely touching. I'm barely touching the pencil to the, might be a little more highlight up right there on the top. Maybe a couple little bits in the fins flittering, you know, the fin might be fluttering. Thanks, Eileen. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with Eileen the Enabler Elf this year. All right, so now I've got the dark sienna for the shadow, a little bit of extra white highlight. Now I'm going to go in there with my orange and just kind of blend in everything, like maybe a little bit of the darker. I got 2 shades of the orange here. Well, I got the sienna too. That was in the shadows. Then I had the white was the very lightest. Now I've got 2 shades, whoops, I got 2 shades of orange here, which I can't really get any closer to the camera because I'm zoomed in 100%. But I'm sure you can see one's darker than the other. So I'm going to take the darker one, and in the sienna areas, I'm going to kind of blend that. But in the areas where it's white, where it's touching the white, I can go with the lighter orange. So I got 2 shades of orange here, and, you know, just back and forth. And you might have to go back in there with some more sienna. You know, it's just a dance. You're dancing with those pencils. And again, because this is, you know, I've already gone over that black ink with the pencil, I got to be careful not to be dragging that black into the orange. So I got to be kind of careful of that. E.T. is scared, very scared. It was fun. And still, guys, if you want to go back 2 years in my Twitter feed, there's pictures of Eileen, the Enabler Elf. I did 25 days of enablement. We call Eileen ETEE. Eileen, the Enabler Elf. ETEE. Because she knows all the products, anything that's coming out, she will enable you. She'll give you links, prices, spreadsheets. And so if you need to get enabled to buy anything, she is the one that enables you. Although there are a few others that are a close second. Yes, we tango with our pencils. There are a few others that are a close second to Eileen. But anyway, so what I was saying is, so I have the elf on the shelf. Let me find it. And during Christmas, Eileen, the elf on the shelf, she's got a little skirt on. She's the girl one. She's got earrings there, see? Anyway, I have the boy and the girl one. And so she gets in trouble. She gets in trouble buying things. So, and all kinds of supplies. So last year, and I know my camera probably won't focus on it under this light, but, or I'm sorry, the year before last, Eileen the Enabler Elf, my elf on the shelf elf, got into all kinds of mischief with art supplies. And it was fun every day for the month of December. Okay, so I think that one's pretty much done. Now I'm getting a little bit of sun coming in the window, so it's going to start brightening up my camera lighting again. All right, Blondie said she bought a cheap laser printer just to avoid the inkjet smear thing. Yeah, because inkjet laser does not, excuse me, right, laser does not smear. That's true. And if you do a lot of it, it would, you know, it would pay to have a laser printer if you do a lot of stuff like that, you know. I don't. If I needed a laser printer, I'd just go to Staples or something. If I need a laser print out, I would just go get one at, you know, get that particular printout at Staples. But if you do a lot of stuff where you need your inkjet, your inkjet's going to smear and you don't want the inkjet ink, it might pay to have a laser jet, but it just doesn't pay for me. I don't use it that much. Okay, so look at it's a little bit brighter. The colors are coming in and out with the sun coming in and out of the clouds. E.T. the training elf. Yeah, nice try. Eileen's trying to say she's the training elf. She's training people how to be enabled. Eileen the Enabler Elf. Okay, so I'm just going to keep, you know, blending the sienna, and then I'll go in and blend with where the white touch. And you know, there's not really a specific formula for doing any of this. I think more than anything, it depends on the colors you're using. If you're using light colors and white against orange, or whether you're using another, you know, whatever colors, it's going to depend on how you blend things. At least for me, I don't really have a formula. I just kind of go from area to area blending until it's what I like. And I'm not having to push hard at all because I'm going over acrylic paint. The acrylic paint is gripping my pencil, so I don't have to, I'm barely pushing on it at all. Okay, so there we go. Oh, let me do the little bubble here. Maybe a little bit of, you know, something like that. So you kind of tilt it. There we go. So you can see the color. Yeah, the light came in from outside. I had, what I said, some of y'all might have just come in. What I was saying earlier is I move things around in my room because of our mystery guest tomorrow. So because of that, it changed the lighting in my room. And now my overhead light, which is like on a vaulted ceiling, but it puts a glare right here. So I had to turn the overhead light off. So I'm working right here in semi-darkness. I'm working in kind of semi-darkness because I don't want to glare right here. But tomorrow, if when the mystery guest is here, then we'll do the camera. We'll do the camera on the, I'll attach it to a bookshelf, and you'll see the whole tables. You'll see us working. You won't see detail like this, but you'll see us working and talking with you. Can you come over and be... Oh, hey, Miss Vicky B, you can come over and be a mystery guest. I loved your last... if y'all don't know Miss Vicky B, she does planner videos. Well, she does other things too, but she focuses on planners. And she just did a planner review on 2 new planners that she got in. And I've not seen either. Well, you did do a review on one a while back on a similar one, but I didn't really remember the details of it. But I didn't know that there were planners with mind mapping ideas in them. So I was so glad to see those. Not that I'm going to go out and get them, because you know me, I'm just not really the planner girl. But I love seeing the new planners, and I love the idea of a mind mapping type of technique in the planners. That was just awesome. I was like all into that. If I was going to get a new planner, Miss Vicky B, it would have been one of those 2 you reviewed day before yesterday, I think it was. I need them. Yes. You want to go sit in the corner with Eileen the Enabler Elf. Yeah, Miss Vicky B is the planner enabler. Yeah. I sent you, did you get your art card, Miss Vicky B? I sent you an art card. Yes, I will be now, I plan on streaming tomorrow. That's if our mystery guest can make it. If she lives... I'm not making a big secret about it. Everybody that's here heard me talk about it before I hit record, but I was just kind of playing with y'all if you're watching the recording. But yeah, our mystery guest will be here tomorrow, weather permitting, which it looks like it will be okay for her to drive down here. She lives in the Atlanta area, not too far from me. But I gotta say, we're gonna have to make a trip to Hobby Lobby. We're going to have to get over to old Hoblob while she's here, because my Hobby Lobby is literally 3 miles from my house. It's dangerous, people, I'm telling you. It's a dangerous thing to have a Hobby Lobby 3 miles from your house.